Vice President Sara Duterte says that the country is on its way to hell because President Bongbong Marcos does not know how to do his job as chief executive. In a press conference on Friday, October 18, Vice President Duterte claims that some have blamed her for the situation of the country because she did not run as president in the 2022 elections. But Duterte maintains that it is not her fault if the current president does not know how to do his job.
Hindi marunong maging presidente ang nakaupo. Kasalanan ko ba yun? Hindi. May sinasabi ng mga tao, kasalanan mo kasi hindi ka tumakbo, ikaw sana yung presidente, hindi siya. But then I said, maaga ako nagsabi na hindi ako tatakbo for president. May madaming mga negative.
The Vice President says that a president must be able to adjust to do his work for the country. Following her statement, Duterte was asked if she is not satisfied with the performance of President Marcos. Duterte says,
kaya nga umalis ako, di ba, sa administration. Hindi ko na gusto yung mga naririnig ko dun. Hindi ko na gusto yung mga nakikita ko dun. Kayo, kung gusto nyo ng pera, natatakot kayo, kayo lang. Huwag na ako isali.
The Vice President was also asked to rate the performance of the President, with 10 being the highest. Duterte says she will give the President a rating of only 1. Duterte reveals that she initially did not intend to respond to Marcoses' remarks that he felt deceived after she denied ever being friends with him. According to the Vice President, her first reaction from the remarks of the President was of wonder, saying why does the issue even matter to Marcos in the first place?
Presidente ka na. Importante pa ba yung nararamdaman mo? Di ba kapag presidente ka, hindi na importante yung pagod mo, yung luha mo, yung fatigue mo, yung stress mo. Hindi na siya importante.
The Vice President emphasizes that a president should be thinking of more pressing matters for the country, including hunger, increasing petroleum prices, and the upcoming holiday season.
When you are president, importante dyan yung nararamdaman ng taong bayan. Yung bansa. Yun yung naisip ko when I heard it na parang talagang may panahon ka mag-isip about deception ng isang babae dyan. Ang dami mong oras. Hindi ba dapat iniisip mo na yung mga taong gutom? Yung presyo ng gasolina? Yung darating na Christmas? Kung sino yung maka-afford ng spaghetti, ng mango float, ng mga importante sa Noche Buena, ng mga bahay-bahay? Di ba yun yung... So may panahon ka talaga na mag-isip na, oh, this girl.
Duterte notes that the country should not anymore think about the feelings of their president and vice president, adding that it is more important for her to do her job as vice president of the country. Marcos and Duterte were running mates during the 2022 elections, but for the past months, tensions were felt between the relationship of the two top leaders of the country. In June, Duterte withdrew from Marcos' cabinet after she resigned as the Secretary of the Department of Education. Vice President Sara Duterte says she was used by the Marcoses in the 2022 elections to secure their win against former Vice President Robredo. According to Duterte, it was in October 2021 when she received a call from Senator Amy Marcos asking her to vie for vice presidency with her brother, now President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as her running mate.
Pagdating ng late October, after deadline ng filing, tumawag sa akin si Senator Amy Marcos. Sabi niya sa akin, pwede ka ba tumakbong vice president? Sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo, hindi ko pa narinig ever na sinabi sa akin na tumakbo akong vice president. Sabi ko, bakit mo ako nire-request ngayon na tumakbo ang vice president? And I'm happy that she was honest enough to say, kasi matatalo kami ni Lenny kung hindi mo dalahin ang Bisaya. It was very straightforward.
Asked if this meant she was used, Duterte responds in the affirmative.
So, ano yung isang tanong? Nagamit. Yes. Clear naman yun. Tinanong ko, bakit ako? And then she said, matatalo kami ni Lenny kung hindi mo dalhon ang mga Bisaya.
However, Duterte said that she was never forced to run, explaining that her decision to run for vice president was very rational. According to Duterte, she does not regret being Bongbong's running mate, adding that she was sure God had a reason for assigning her to the post. She also explained that running for vice president allowed her to escape the scrutiny of politicians who were already gauging prospective candidates in the 2028 elections. Vice President Sara Duterte says she already had a toxic relationship with President Bongbong Marcos even prior to the rift between them. During a press conference on Friday, October 18, Duterte says she realized this toxic relationship with Marcos after she caught herself imagining to cut off Marcos's head after an incident with the president. According to Duterte, the incident happened in a graduation event which she did not specifically identify, wherein one of the graduates asked President Marcos if he could get the president's watch as a graduation gift. Duterte says President Marcos asked the student why should he give him his watch. After this, Duterte, who says she was not feeling well at the time, imagined to cut off the head of Marcos.
At that point, sakit na ako. I'm feeling very well. Nandun lang ako, nakakatayo ako dun kasi nagkamot ako. Gusto ko, ang galing yung ulo niya ba? I realized toxic na yung relationship. And it did not help na itong dalawang katabi ko, tumawa pa. Pinagtawanan pa nila yung bata. And I saw the humiliation sa face ng bata. I wanted to help him. Imagine myself cutting his head.
Duterte says she imagined telling Marcos that the kid he was talking to was a child who would be ready to die for the country and worked hard for years to get to where he was now. Duterte adds that after the incident, she realized that her relationship with the administration is toxic and over.
Na-realize ko, toxic na, di ba? Ganyan na yung imagination mo. Ang imagination mo, sinasakal mo na yung tao. And then I said, this is over. Tapos na.
The Commission on Elections should set ethical standards in accepting candidacies of aspirants who came from political dynasties, according to senatorial aspirant and former representative Liza Maza. According to Maza, Comelec could use the existing provisions of Republic Act No. 10742 or the Sangguniang Kabataan Reform Act and Bangsamoro Electoral Code to ban political dynasties. Section 10 of the SK Reform Act states that an SK official must not be related within the second civil degree of consanguinity or affinity to any incumbent elected national official or to any incumbent elected regional, provincial, city, municipal, or barangay official. Meanwhile, Article 3, Section 9D of the Bangsamoro Electoral Code mandates that nominees submitted by a political party shall not be related to each other within the second degree of consanguinity. Maza, a senatorial veto under the Makabayan Coalition, then reaffirms her stand against political dynasties and mentions that the coalition will file disqualification cases against prominent members of political dynasties in the country who are running in the 2025 elections. Although the 1987 Philippine Constitution prohibits political dynasties in order to guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service, no law has been passed to enact the takeover of political dynasties in the country. The Department of Health reports that leptospirosis cases are rising, with more than 700 new cases recorded from September 8 to 21. Based on the latest data from DOH, 774 new cases were recorded, which are twice as high as the 381 recorded cases from August 25 to September 7. The agency says the total cases of leptospirosis now stands at 5,835 as of October 5, 2024, noting that this figure is 16% higher than the 5,050 recorded cases from the same period in 2023. The agency also reports that 509 deaths have been recorded so far. According to DOH, all regions in the country except Central Visayas, Northern Mindanao, and Sorsogon have shown an increase in cases over the previous 3 to 4 weeks leading up to October 5. DOH Secretary Teodoro Herbosa reminds the public of the possible health concerns caused by wading through floodwaters as the country expects more rains to come. If exposed to floodwaters, Herbosa advises the public to wear closed and protective footwear and wash exposed skin to lower the risk of leptospirosis infection. Humans can get infected by the illness caused by the Leptospira bacteria when they come in contact with water, food, or soil containing contaminated animal urine. Early symptoms of the disease include fever, chills, headache, muscle aches, vomiting, and diarrhea.